Hello, dear friends. Myself, Dr. K.N. Gaikwad, Associate Professor, Department of Botany, KTHM College, Nasik. Title of our paper is Plant Anatomy and Embryology. Last time we have seen vascular tissue system, and today we are going to learn chapter number 4, normal secondary growth. Under that, we have to study normal secondary growth in dicot stem. Dear student, the growth of in the initial stage of plant is called primary growth. Primary growth of plant body is usually due to activities of apical meristem. After that, plant body become enter into the secondary growth, and that secondary growth is responsible for the development of plant body, which is increase in the girth. That's why we can define the increase in diameter or girth of the stem and its thickness is due to secondary growth. Secondary growth may continue to hundreds of years or even for several thousands of years. In monocot plant and even vascular cryptogams complete their life cycle with primary tissue. They do not require additional or secondary tissue. Secondary growth is responsible for development from the meristematic tissue, apical meristem. Let us see what is the botanical definition of secondary growth. Secondary growth is defined as the increase in diameter or girth and thickness of the plant axis through the activities of lateral meristems like vascular cambium and core cambium in the stellar and extrastellar regions. What is the function of secondary growth? First of all, first significance is that increase in girth or diameter of stem or branch is possible only because of secondary growth. Second significance is that formation of spring wood, atom wood, heartwood, sapwood in plant is the result of secondary growth. The quality of wood mainly depends on the type of secondary growth in it. Next is that the rigidity, strength, hardness or softness of the stem of plants depends on the nature of secondary growth. The wood structure and its anatomy may indicate the primitive and advanced nature of plants. The anatomical characters of secondary tissue will help to understand the evolution of plant groups. The cork and bark formed as a result of secondary growth are the important protective tissue in the plant body. Next one is that the cork act as waterproofing cover to the stem. It also protects the plant against the attack of parasitic fungi, insect, etc. The cork shell containing air in them act as bad conductor of heat. The cork developed from cork cambium also plays an important role in healing of wounds and injuries caused to the plant by various external factors. Thus, it saved the plant from death and decay. These are the significance of the plants. Now, next point is that what is the cambium and its role? In vascular tissue system chapter, we have seen that in between xylem and phloem, there is a meristematic tissue. They are called cambium. The cambium which is present in between xylem and phloem is called intrastellar cambium. And when the cambium is present toward the outer side, it is called extrastellar. Cambium is the meristematic tissue which has role in secondary growth of the plant. The dicot stem has conjoined collateral and open vascular bundles arranged in ring. The cambium present in vascular bundle is known as fascicular cambium. This produces secondary tissue like secondary xylem and secondary phloem. The medullary rays which are present in between the vascular bundles, it is called interfascicular region, resume meristematic activities and form many new strips of meristematic tissue in line with vascular cambium. The cambium is generally roll one cell in thickness, but during active growth, it divides rapidly and form cambium zone in the ring. Now in this diagram, TS of sunflower state, there is a 1, 2, 3, 5 layers of cambium is there. The cambium perpetuates itself and remain active in the plant for a considerable time. Now let us see next point, normal secondary growth in Helianthus anus. Now this is the diagram of sunflower stem. Helianthus anus is the botanical name of sunflower plant, and this is the transverse section of this one. In sunflower stem, secondary growth is seen both in the vascular cylinder as well as in cortex. Now this is the vascular cambium in this diagram, and cork cambium is present toward in the cortical region. Secondary growth in the vasculature is brought about the active fascicular cambium, and in primary structure, the cambium is formed a strip present in between xylem and phloem. But during development of secondary growth, inter and interfascicular cambium become joined together and forming the common ring. At the beginning, in sunflower stem, secondary growth, each cambium cell divides tangentially to form two cells. Of these, one remain meristematic while the other differences into a secondary xylem element or a secondary phloem element. When this cambium become cut the cell toward the inner side, it become develop the secondary xylem. And when the cell cut toward the outer side, it becomes the secondary phloem. Because of addition of secondary vascular tissue, the girth of stem increases. Generally, more secondary xylem is formed than secondary phloem. As a result, the cambium is pushed toward the periphery. In most of the dicot plant, what happen? Cambium ring become develop more and more xylem than the secondary phloem. That's why, due to the development of the secondary xylem, the cambium become pushed toward the periphery, and finally cambium become occurs in this region. Sunflower is the annual crop, but when in mature plants, you will get the cambium is toward the outer side, and major portion of the wood stem is covered by the secondary xylem. Now let us see process of secondary growth in Annona squamosa. In Marathi it is called Sitapal. The stem of Annona squamosa, normal secondary growth like the stem of Helianthus. The activity of intra and interfascicular cambium is similar to the normal secondary growth. The initial growth takes place by fascicular cambia. In the latter stage, parenchymatous cells of the medullary become meristematic, and thus there is formation of continuous ring of cambium. This is the continuous ring of cambium. The secondary growth in the stellar region is also the same as the dicotyledon stem, where cork cambium, which is present here, which is responsible for the development of the phalogen, secondary cortex, cork cambium, that is the periderm, etc. The secondary growth in the stellar region is also same to the other dicot plant. In mature stem of the Annona, it shows the some features. For example, presence of lenticels, periderm and distinct phalogen phloem layers are there. Parenchymatous cortex is there. Sclerenchymatous hard patches outside the phloem. This one, the hard patches are there. Secondary phloem and pseudotubes, phloem parenchyma and companion cells are present in this region, phloem region. Secondary xylem, this one, showing growth rings are there. That is the springwood and atomwood. They develop in 1 year. These are some characteristic feature of secondary growth in anenoscamosa. And what happens in extracellular region? In this region, secondary growth takes place in the cortex, resulting in the formation of periderm tissue. Now this is the upper layer, it is called periderm. These tissues replace the epidermis and offers protection to the stem. The periderm consists of three regions, namely phelogen, phloem, and pheloderm. In perennial plant, the annual growth rings are more than two. Plants having only one ring are called annual ring. Biennial plants have two growth rings. Structure and function of foliage shows the phelogen, phloem, pheloderm, bark are there. Now in this diagram, there is a process of normal growth occurs in different stages. There are figures are A, B, C, and D. A shows the normal secondary growth, and D shows the fully developed wood or secondary xylem and secondary phloem. This is the TS of stem is there. The process of growth, normal growth occurs in every plant is known as primary growth. Primary growth TS shows the epidermis, cortex, pericycle, vascular bundle, ring is there. Then inter and interfascicular cambium is there, and pith region is there. This process of primary growth result in the formation of primary permanent tissue like primary xylem, primary phloem, primary cortex. However, in dicot plant, there is a process of growth that begins after known period of primary growth. Such growth is called secondary growth. Now, in this diagram, secondary growth is already started. It results into the formation of the permanent secondary tissue. What are the permanent secondary tissue? Secondary xylem, secondary phloem, and secondary cortex is there. As a result of secondary growth, brings about an increase in the girth of plant body. The secondary growth starts when the vascular cambium cells start divide and redivide. This leads to the production of two cells. One cell can turn into either a secondary phloem or secondary xylem, and other cell become vascular bundle, remain undifferentiated, same as vascular bundle cell. The primary structure of dicot stem is with vascular bundles arranged in circular fashion. In first ray, figure A. Outer side of vascular bundle, epidermis of the dicot stem, and the inner side of vascular bundle contain pith. And vascular cambium cell divides, producing secondary phloem toward the outside of dicot stem and secondary xylem inside. This leads to the growth of bark. Bark consists of all tissues, layers outside the vascular cambium like secondary phloem, cork cambium, perider, etc. That means in this region. During secondary growth, as the secondary phloem increases in the thickness, the primary phloem also decreases in its thickness, as outer layer is nothing but the cork cambium. Now in this diagram, this is the periderm region is there. Cork cambium gives rise to the cork cell, and the epidermis is gradually replaced by the periderm. In dicot stem, secondary growth occurs both in stele and cortex. The process occurs simultaneously but is caused by separate strips of secondary meristem. Actually, the cambium ring exhibit mitotic activity of both the sides, inside and outside. This mitotic activity on the inner surface result in the formation of the cells which differentiated into a set of xylem. It represents the secondary xylem. Similarly, the mitotic cell activity on the outer surface is result in the formation of the secondary phloem. Due to formation of secondary xylem, the primary xylem is pushed away toward the pith, and pith gets slightly reduced. Center portion pith reduced due to the development of the more and more secondary xylem. That also results to push the cambium ring to the outer side. And finally, cambium ring comes here. It is called secondary, mature cambium. Each year, the mitotic divisions of the cambium ring usually form the growth rings. So see in this, there the growth rings are there. These growth rings are usually begin in spring season. The secondary xylem that is formed in the spring season is therefore known as spring wood or early wood. Spring wood and the secondary xylem formed in autumn season, they are called autumn wood. In 1 year, one layer of autumn wood and one layer of spring is formed. This is called annual rings. The formation of annual rings. Now, in next lecture, we have to study here development of how the annual rings are formed. Now, at the last of this unit, our topic is not completed. In next lecture, we have to study the development of the growth rings, periodal formation, bark, tylosis, and lenticels. 4 units are there. Now, on this topic, there is some assignments are there. Describe the annual normal secondary growth and its need. That means significance. Describe the secondary growth in Helianthus anus. That means sunflower plant. Describe normal secondary growth in Annona stem. And explain cambium and its role is there. Thank you.